Tomorrow I've got a 100-kilometre row, which I'll be doing on a Concept 2 rowing machine. And yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be down at my local gym. I was going to do it in a market, but unfortunately I just couldn't get the owners of the space to kind of finally agree on stuff, which was unfortunate, but I'm sure I'll do it again at some point. It's an annual International MS Day on the 30th of May, so yeah, there'll be another opportunity. I might well do it at my school next year, see how it goes really. Yeah, as to how I trained for it, obviously I did some rowing on a rowing machine. I rowed at university, so I've got fairly good technique. It's worth learning because, kind of like swimming, if you aren't coordinated with rowing, it doesn't matter how strong you are, you're not going to go anywhere. Obviously with a rowing machine, it's not quite as like flat out, like machine says no, when it comes to poor technique. When you're on the water, it's just, if you can't row, you're not going anywhere. Whereas on the machine, with terrible technique, you can go, but you're just going slow. It's definitely worth learning how to do it. There's plenty of good videos out there. Concept 2 has got some good ones up on my website. Worth a look. As to other sort of things which support it, swimming and running for cardiovascular strength. Certainly as far as weights go, I believe in sort of whole body compound motions for those, so things like deadlifts and squats, great for those, especially front squats. I tend to do goblet squats because you can burn out quite a large sort of volume, maybe using, I mean in my case I use like a 30-kilogram dumbbell basically and do goblet squats. I like doing goblet squats, so sue me. Partly because I'm really careful and wary with front and back squats, just because I like my knees, and I like the fact that they still work after running ultramarathons, so I don't want to kind of abuse them too much. But I gradually improve those. It's just I don't squat as much as I could squat. For example, when I do a horizontal leg press on a machine, I'm typically sort of going up to about 200 kilos on that, but when I'm doing a back squat, I do like 75 kilos. That's sort of reps of 10, or sets of 10. In terms of other exercises, I do sort of cable rows and stuff like that for the back. Yeah, and do some calisthenics, especially sort of things like, I'm not really big on doing planks, just because, one, they get boring, and two, also, I think you kind of burn through the gains really quickly. So I tend to do more dynamic things where you maybe are in a plank and then you go up and you do a side plank and you come back down and then you do a side plank on the other side. Maybe you kind of reach through sort of underneath yourself and twist like that and then sort of come out like that. Other ones where you take like a single limb off the ground and sort of take it out to the side, stuff like that. And even lots of the little accessory lifts seem to definitely have a good part to play. Things like Superman, you can weight Superman. After all, if you take like what would it be, a 5-pound plate basically, and you have one of those in each hand and you do 30 Superman, that is a really hard workout. That is really difficult. And yeah, I mean, just because they're like accessories doesn't mean they're not hard and they're not valuable. Other ones like face pulls and like weird variations you can do, like where you take your face pull in and you pull it to your face like that. Make sure you've kind of like actually getting your hands behind your elbows sort of thing. But you can also then lift it up like that. That's a really cool one I found from Athlean-X. It seems to actually provide some benefit. Yeah, and things like burpees as well, all that kind of stuff. It just kind of a variety. What seems to actually make you more capable and more functional? Certainly, I have a bit of a kind of personal anger about the whole sort of functional word, because anything which improves your function is functional. I mean, deadlifts can be functional, back squats can be functional. You don't have to do it on some sort of really ridiculous surface like some sort of like bouncy castle to make it functional. That's not functional, that's just stupid. You're massively increasing the chances of injury for very little gain. In terms of, like, improving your ability to handle uneven loads and stuff, you can always unequally load a bar and do a deadlift, for example. That's a good way of doing a unilateral movement where you're controlling the bar through your core and through your other accessory sort of muscles to keep it kind of even if you've got it weighted unevenly. So you've got 25 on one side, or 25 kilograms that is, and maybe a 10 on the other. That, unbalance there is trying to pull you to the side, and if you kind of clamp down your core and everything, you lift it well. Very good core workout, but you're never going to, you're never going to load it very high. And there's lots of stuff like that. It's just, there is so much nonsense around functional strength training that it really annoys me. And, some people have prejudice against weights, which is stupid. Some people have prejudice against calisthenics, which is stupid as well. Some people think you can only do it on like a bouncy castle, which is just silly. And you can do stuff anywhere using any equipment and get sort of capable and strong doing it. And I think you should be able to kind of like just up sticks and go out, run a marathon, do a ultra distance rowing event, swim 3 miles, or lift some heavy weights. Whatever you kind of want to do, you should be capable of doing it. Obviously, you have training cycles and stuff, and you want a specific outcome, but I think you should have that capability to just kind of rock up and kind of do stuff on a given day. Say things go sideways on you and you find yourself in a survival situation, you should be able to cope with it. And I think a lot of people get way too robotic about exercise. It's meant to be fun, it's meant to be life enhancing, and it's meant to be functional in the sense that it should give you good function. That's not doing it on a bouncy castle. God, I hate those things. People look so stupid doing it as well. And also the injuries people get, constantly getting injured, and they never ever associated with doing it on a silly, bouncy, foam ball weird thing. I really don't like that. Anyway, look in the bit below for the sponsored link. Follow the hashtag on Twitter. I'm still using Twitter. I'm going to get rid of it after a while, but it is what it is for the minute until I kind of get myself set up on Gab and Minds, or find something better than that. I'm not sure what it would be, probably Minds. But anyway, you can find me on the hashtag 100kmking, which is King because of the gym, King's Gym. So therefore, you can find me on that. It will give you details of the row, how it's going, and stuff like that. It's going to be operated by a friend, which hasn't used Twitter very much before, so who knows whether that will work. I'm not sure, but everything's sort of working pretty well, and getting some sponsorship in and stuff like that, so it should work out quite well. Anyway, hope you're having a great day, and I'll be sort of updating when I get back, and I'll let you all know how the row went. Okay, goodbye.